Once I hit submit, it's going to send this to my AI agent that's going to decide on which structure to use for my workflow. And as you can see, it didn't even need to search the field types because I've prompted it in the back end here on how to build Airtable databases. And as you can see, this HTTP request ran successfully. So if I go to my Airtable, as you can see, we now have a construction project tracker. So when I open this up, as you can see, it gives us exactly what we need. A database pre-populated with descriptions, with job status in here of not started in progress, under review completed, and we even have a deadline field within our Airtable. Something very simple, but this AI agent really helps me out because I can implement this in my own workflows. I could call this agent whenever I need to in order to create a database for me, which just definitely adds to that non-deterministic output. If I need a database, it can create one for me and even populate it with information, all without me intervening at all. AI agent use case number 6 is my meeting manager agent system. Now, this thing is crazy. You might be looking at this going, what in the world is going on here? Well, don't worry, this is not all happening in one workflow, but I did drag all of these automations and agents and tools all into one space so you could see everything that went into creating my meeting manager. Now, where the system starts is the meeting orchestrator, and whenever I have a problem, whenever I have a request, a question, this orchestrator agent's job is to call the proper tool I need in order to solve my problem. Is it a question about my calendar, my CRM? Do I want to create a Zoom meeting? Do I want to email somebody? That's what this orchestrator agent's job is. It then sends it to the respective tool that even has more tools to fulfill my request. So very robust solution. Let me show you how it works. In the meeting orchestrator, I can just use Telegram for this. So I have Telegram open on the right and I have my orchestrator agent open on the left. Now you're not going to be able to see this run because I have it activated, but I can ask it a question, something like, what's on my schedule for tomorrow? And when you set up an agent like this with an orchestrator that connects to other tools, you have one cohesive workflow that works like magic because each tool has its own responsibility. Each workflow, rather, has its own responsibility. So when I ask it a question like that, what it's going to do is go search my Google Calendar and reply back with all of my events that I have tomorrow. So as you can see, morning routine, haircut with Carter, AI Foundations Q&A. And when I go to my events tomorrow, as you can see on the 19th over here, I have all of those events. So I have morning routine, and I'm going to make my screen maximized, haircut with Carter, and then AI Foundations Q&A. Now, these are arbitrary events that I created on a test calendar, but it works with your real one too. I was just showing you this as an example. Another thing I could do is I could create events in here. So I could say something like, create an event with Nolan for tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. We will talk about marathon training for an hour on a Zoom call. So it's going to take in all of this information. Tomorrow, 5:30 p.m., an hour on a Zoom call, and then I say create a calendar event with Nolan. Well, how does it know who Nolan is? Well, remember, it has access to my CRM database, so it's going to know everything about Nolan, right? It's going to know that Nolan's the lead editor at AI Foundations. It's going to know Nolan's email, Nolan's full name here. So this solution works for you when you set it up in the correct way as these different tools and you give it access to certain things. So I'm going to send off this request. And what this is going to do is create an event on my calendar. It's going to create an actual Zoom meeting on my Zoom account. But this is the great part about this automation. It says, there's a scheduling conflict at the time you requested. You have an event, AI Foundations Q&A from 4:30 to 6 tomorrow.